Hello everyone, and welcome to an exclusive Brother Near cancellation video. For those of you that are currently experiencing the immense pleasure and satisfaction of not owning a Twitter account, this YouTuber, ShaunTheLegend, has officially accused me of pedophilia and grooming. This has been going on for a few days now, and Shaun continues to add fuel to the fire both on Twitter and YouTube as well. And this all started because I called him out for consuming Lolicon, which is classified under US federal law as virtual CP. Ever since our drama started, he's been doing nothing but deflecting any and all criticism, silencing and blocking anyone that is associated with me, constantly monitoring my channel and Twitter over anything I do, and making the drama worse. He hides in his echo chamber to make false claims about me, my friends, and my intent. He twists the narrative in every possible way he can. He hides behind the supposed legality of Lolicon, completely throwing out the immorality of consuming said material, and now he's here, calling me a pedophile over an ambiguous, offhanded, harmless little joke I made towards a friend of mine. At the same time though, he wants to argue in bad faith by making these claims, while simultaneously having my friend blocked, and it's only because my friend just so happens to agree with me that Lolicon is CP. And yet somehow I'm still the clout chaser that needs an echo chamber. Okay, buddy. I will admit, the things Shaun has done to me recently did not make me feel good. My mental health went down the shitter the moment he started this. This is slander, and I won't tolerate it. I know for a fact that Shaun will act like I'm doing the same thing to him, but my accusations are not baseless. Yours are. I am accusing you, Shaun, of pedophilia, because you are constantly white knighting and consuming pedophilic material, drawn depictions of children in sexual situations. Let me make this distinction clear as well. I am not calling you a predator, I am not calling you a sex offender, and I'm not calling you a child molester. I am calling you a pedophile, a person that is attracted to children. And what are you doing? You are calling me a groomer over an ambiguous joke I made towards my friend. Or rather, you are anticipating grooming allegations over a joke I made. You continue to spread this harmful misinformation both on Twitter and YouTube, trying to defame me for something I did not do, and never will. You and your degenerate scum of a community want to take me and several other people down because you can't accept the reality that you are all pedophiles, continuing to grasp at straws on how it's somehow okay to consume this vile genre. I want to make this clear as well. I am not against the existence of lolly characters by themselves, but what I am against is the sexualization and fetishization of them. And don't try to paint this as if I don't care about actual children either. I've helped children in these awful situations. I made 2 videos on a Roblox child predator named Spookish, and I also made a video on another child predator who groomed a minor on Snapchat. And he also happened to be a defender of Lolicon as well. Go figure. I also want to make this as clear to all of you as I possibly can, as I feel like this is the most damning part of this entire drama. ShaunTheLegend has the audacity to slander me like this, claiming that I'm some kind of groomer for making this joke towards my friend, but not once during this drama did he ever reach out to him. Not once did you seek clarification, or even simply ask if he was uncomfortable about the joke I made. This, by itself, is proof that you don't care about the well-being of children. I have made actual videos on pedophiles that have acted upon their evil desires, and outside of that, me and my friends have exposed several pedophiles and child predators as well. One of them actually got into prison because of us. This also includes Zero Needs Coffee, who had to expose his own admin and best friend at the time as a child predator for sending very explicit sex messages to a minor. What have you done, Shaun? Morally grandstand on behalf of my friend despite the fact he doesn't agree with you, and you flat out refuse to get into any contact with him? Yeah, you're a fucking joke. I know you don't actually care about Josh. The only reason you're doing all of this is because you have a personal vendetta against me. And because despite the fact you've said numerous times that you're done with me and the drama, you don't want the drama to actually die. You want to take every single opportunity you can try and destroy every inkling of my credibility by grasping for straws. Because of you, people are starting to actually believe I'm some sort of groomer, and not once did they ever ask for clarification or my side. You don't want peace. You want war. Well, buddy, you're getting one. And I'm not going to regret a single second of it.
Like I said before, it's fine for you to sit here and find this disgusting, nasty, abhorrent, repulsive, whatever, weird, creepy, whatever you want to say, okay? But
oh my, Shaun. I wonder why people find it weird, creepy, and disgusting that you are consuming Lolicon. It couldn't be because you are admitting to being attracted to fictional depictions of children in sexual situations, right? It doesn't matter how much in your video or anywhere else do you downplay it all as just drawings, because clearly the author behind these works has the explicit intent to portray a fictional child into a sex act. There is no other way to interpret what these characters look like besides just that, children. And before I hear the defense of lollies being petite women, well, if lollies are petite women, then does that mean petite women are lollies? Something's definitely not adding up there.
But for you to sit here and call people predators, call them criminals over this, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure we all know this, or at least all those with like common sense and knowledge in their head.
I am not accusing you of being a criminal. I am accusing you of being a pedophile, which by itself just means you have a sexual attraction. If I was accusing you of being a criminal over drawings, I would have called you a child predator, but I'm not. I find it incredibly funny as well that you'll sit here and twist the narrative that I'm calling you a criminal over drawings, and you really love to play a certain clip of me accusing you of something. Sure, maybe you are attracted to it. Maybe you do wax your carrot to literal fetuses. Meanwhile, you intentionally left out one very important detail about my response towards you on stream. Do you have Lolicon in your files? I doubt it. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I'm no longer giving you one. I've been way too charitable towards you considering how you've acted for the past 3 weeks. Now I'm done being nice to you. You deserve no such thing after what you've done.
Look, Brother Near, I'm just going to put this image right here up on the screen, and I'm hoping you read it instead of coping and seething and mauling over the fact that you've just been disproved over the dumb thing that you really just said.
First of all, this is a Wikipedia article. Of course you're dumb enough to use that as a source. Secondly, this tells me nothing. The things you have highlighted are specifically talking about Japan's laws. You cannot be this mentally deficient to the point that you're going to apply Japan's laws regarding Lolicon to the United States. That's not how it works, buddy. And you most certainly don't live in Japan either. So, yeah, you're wrong.
That this all ended in a block by Brother Near. He blocked pretty much everybody who was over here trying to help me out and defend my stance on this and tell him how stupid he is for saying stuff like this.
I only blocked 3 people, and it was because they were harassing me. Your community is filled with the most degenerate scum imaginable. They want to censor anyone that goes against their beliefs, and gaslight anyone into thinking that they themselves are pedophiles, or that they don't care about real children. You and your community are vile for allowing, defending, and consuming pedophilic media, drawn or not. This is also incredibly ironic coming from you, Shaun. You blocked me twice. You blocked several of my friends. In fact, you blocked way more people than I did. And you only do that because you want to run away to your pathetic community. You are spineless, and you can't take criticism. How ironic.
Also, Brother Near 2.0 is still not getting a debate from me. I don't know why the hell he wants to constantly debate me. Him and his audience just keep saying this over and over. Oh, debate the femboy, debate the femboy, debate Brother Near 2.0 over the situation. Debate me, debate me.
And you're still a massive pussy for backing out. You had every opportunity to come to me live and disprove everything I've said about you and Lolicon in general. Yet you didn't. What exactly is at risk from debating me, Shaun? You tell me the answer. If you genuinely believe that you're so right about absolutely everything, and that Lolicon is somehow not pedophilic, you absolutely would have gone on a debate with me. Yet you didn't. Zero Needs Coffee gave you the exact same offer, but you refused once again, and decided to fuel the fire by perpetuating more drama. The very fact you backed out of our debates is a very clear sign that you know you're wrong, but refuse to accept it. You are so undeniably pathetic that you can't even try to argue with me live. All you want is validation from your echo chamber. Can't tell me otherwise when you said this on Twitter. It's almost like you're... What's that term you and your fellow pedophiles like to say? Ah, yes, clout chasing.
But no, apparently I'm the one who's dragging this on, or I'm the one who started all this, or I'm the issue here, or I'm the one who needs mental help or something like that.
Are you seriously gonna deny that you're the one that started this entire drama to begin with? You earlier stated in your video that you were the one that made the first move on Twitter, and when I called you out for it, you invited your echo chamber to harass me, which is the reason why Bodacanta made his video to begin with. It was brought to his attention, and then after the video came out, you got super salty and angry at me and my community for exposing your pedophilic ass. It's almost like you got caught red-handed, and you couldn't cope with that. Tough luck, Shaun. Maybe you should have just kept your mouth shut.
But instead, Brother Near wants attention, and so does his darn followers, and so does some of the other commentary channels like Bodacanta and Psychonautic Therapy. They need that next extra hit of clout and subs. They need that next little extra hit of attention. You know, they need those views and everything, and they just want to start stuff over freaking anime drawings.
There is no clout to chase here. Your channel is half my size, which is not even saying much. If we really wanted to clout chase, we would not be going after you. Besides, it's your fault that we're even talking about you to begin with. You can deny it all you want, but you were the one that started this drama, perpetuated it even further over the course of 3 weeks, and you are the sole reason why this escalated so badly. And speaking of clout chasing, you also go after several other people who have much bigger channels than you. People such as Turkey Tom, Augie RFC, Ween, Zero Needs Coffee, even that fucking schizoid Jalen, and so much more. It's almost like everything you're accusing me of is straight up projection.
Anyway, let's move on and get into the actual situation between me and Brother Near, because Bodacanta doesn't really have anything to do with this. This whole video was a nothing burger.
Tell me why, Shaun. Why is it a nothing burger? You sped through the entirety of Bodacanta's video on you, and continue to act like he was never involved in this situation to begin with. You didn't even address anything Bodacanta had to say. You do realize that you're doing the same thing that the people you love to criticize do, right? The people you make videos on most likely would give you the exact same treatment, which makes you a hypocrite. This isn't the last time you did this either. You gave Thunderstruck and Psychonautic Therapy the exact same treatment when they rightfully criticized you, claiming that their input doesn't matter. Apparently, according to you, nobody's opinion regarding Lolicon matters at all, except when they just so happen to agree with you. The textbook definition of a person that wants to hide within an echo chamber. I have acknowledged criticisms in the past, which is why my current channel is so much bigger than the one I had in the past, and it's because I've learned from my mistakes. All you do is deflect, ignore, and silence any criticism that goes towards you, and the thing you're doing right now is the most spineless and pathetic attempt at a silencing tactic. You won't silence me. I'm only gonna get louder.
And after this right here, I am completely done with anything regarding the commentary community.
And you lied. If you really want this drama to be over, you would have kept your mouth shut ever since you put this video of yours out there. Instead, you're digging your own grave even deeper, especially with what you're doing right now. Like I said earlier, you don't want the drama to die. You want to take every opportunity to twist the narrative against me, lie about me and my friends, and now you're here trying to defame me over the littlest of things imaginable. My joke towards my friend is nowhere near comparable to you admitting to defending, allowing, and consuming drawings that depict children in sex acts. Allow me to show you all a great example of Shaun being full-on aware that what he's doing is wrong, and he won't accept that fact. This is Homura Akemi. She is 14 years old, and is clearly depicted as a child. ShaunTheLegend is completely aware of this, and yet he still admits to wanting to fuck her. But he will also deny that this character is in fact a child, all because it's fictional. I don't think I need to explain anything more about that, as it is just the most asinine and disgusting excuse I've ever heard for even thinking that consuming this shit is okay. And then the rest of Shaun's video is a bunch of fucking stupid memes that you would probably see on Facebook. That totally makes you look good in a situation where you're being exposed for justifying Lolicon. Whatever, I'm done being charitable towards you. I understand now that nothing is going to change your mind. Nothing can convince you that you're wrong, and all you want to do is keep the drama going. And I don't care how many enemies I'm going to make from uploading this video alone, especially when those people are just like you. ShaunTheLegend alone has become the worst person I've ever had to deal with. Words alone can't express the things I feel knowing people like him exist, knowing what they do, and somehow they keep getting away with it. Not only did Shaun get exposed for being such a vile human being for thinking that Lolicon is okay, but he is trying so desperately to take the moral high ground over something so minuscule. He wants to go as far as to slander me and label me as a groomer for something I will never do. Everything you've done to me has put me in a spot that I can't mentally recover from so easily. And not only that, but you're so incredibly fake for pulling this shit on me while simultaneously not even caring about getting the input of the supposed victim in question. If you really did care about what I've done to this guy, you would have fucking talked to him. But I never expected you to care anyway. You had him blocked, you still want to argue in bad faith, you keep pestering me on Twitter over every little thing I do, even going as far as to stalk and leak posts out of my Twitter circle. You continue to push out this false narrative that I did one of the most unforgivable things a person could ever do, and every single time we go after you over the most petty, disgusting, and harmful things you've done, you either hide from us behind a block, or you call upon your degenerate scum of a community to attack us. Congratulations, ShaunTheLegend. You're the very first person on here that I will say this to their face. I hate you. Genuinely. You are the worst person I've ever dealt with. You may think that you're special for doing any of this, but you're not. You're not a hero. You're in absolutely no position to be calling out anyone for supposedly being a pedophile. You're no different than the likes of Quantum TV, and you most certainly are not the black sheep of the commentary community. You're just a cheap fucking knockoff.
I don't know why the fuck I got brought into this situation. I genuinely don't know. So it started with Vincent Martin, right? And then fucking he pinged the one pedophile, right? Yeah, but the pedophile took this fucking screenshot of like Near making a joke, which like it's a fucking joke. I don't know how else you can take that, but like there's a difference between fucking joking about wanting to fuck kids and shit like that. Because people make jokes like that all the time. They're edgy, and like maybe you don't think they're right, but like they don't hurt anybody. And I don't know why the fuck this person is like trying to compare that shit to jerking off to like drawings of kids. Like how that shit is comparable, I have no clue. But whatever. Yeah, I've kind of been following the lolly shit a little bit, I guess. And they're like I watched a couple of Weens videos on it. How the hell there's like a giant ass cult of them is like actually insane to me. And they're like trying to defend them.
I don't know what irreversible brain damage that you've taken in your life, ShaunTheLegend, but this whole situation that you've done with Near, the way you tried to defame him, trying to twist his words around, pretty much from the whole situation that I've seen, especially from your Twitter, especially the screenshots you have shown, and the video that you generated on this whole situation. All I have to really say is that you're the bad person in this situation. You're not innocent in any situation or even any form, to be honest, because all the evidence that has been brought against you pretty much makes you sus. Your knowledge on the legal system on a specific topic, which I would like to call cheese pizza, is so low and so degrading. I would rather listen to an hour straight video of Quantum explaining the legal system. And the video that you made on Bada and Near was so disrespectful, so degrading, and so out of touch that I would rather watch a 24-hour video of the annoying orange with no way to escape or click off the video than to watch one of your poorly designed and structured videos Because my God, when I saw that reply video, I think I have some brain damage that I need to go get fixed. And you know what? I thought this whole situation was done and over with. Like you said in your video that you're done with the drama. You don't want to deal with the drama anymore. You're staying out of it. You're going to stop provoking Nier and the many others. But look where we are now. You're causing drama for absolutely no reason. You threw the white flag saying, I'm done. I don't want to bother anymore. But now you're going around finding screenshots, mind you, of Nier trying to take things out of context for absolutely no reason, except Nier put you in your place, and now your fifis are hurt, and now you're trying to one-up him, trying to justify your little addiction to a certain category that I wish to God never existed in the first place, but people like you sadly love to eat this crap up. So honest to God, I hope I never meet you or cross paths with you, because I'll eat you alive. And honestly, Nier was really nice to you. But honestly, in this video that Nier's got going on right now, I hope to God he's not nice to you. I hope he rips the band-aid off and rips and tears you apart for the absolute bullshit that you try to pull against him.
Shaun, you have got to be kidding me. Calling Nier a pedo because he made a non-sexual joke with someone. Look, I get you're a salty, pathetic man-child, but I never thought you would stoop this low. Here we are, a few weeks after the drama. I thought it was all over, but no, you couldn't help yourself. You just had to get revenge on the people who called you out, and you decide to do so by committing libel. And just the sheer fact that you have the audacity to go on Twitter and YouTube acting all high and mighty saying, oh, you shouldn't make sexual jokes towards minors, and then you go on Twitter and say that you would do this child. I don't care if it's a joke or not, you said that jokes aren't okay. And newsflash, bud, you can believe whatever you want, but guess what? CP, whether drawn or live action, is still illegal. Go on to justice.gov, then go to the criminal division, find subject areas, and go down to obscenity. Quoting from the website itself, in addition, visual representations such as drawings, cartoons, or paintings that appear to depict minors engaged in sexual activity and are obscene are also illegal under federal law. This is a new level of projection. I'm not the pedo because I'm attracted to children. You're the pedo because you made a joke with an underage person that wasn't even sexual. 11 out of 10 logic. But before my segment is done here, I just want to take a second to go over a chat me and Shaun had in the comments of Zero Needs Coffee's video. This isn't necessarily damning evidence or anything like that, it's just kind of funny. So I start out by saying it's actually astonishing to me how poorly Shaun handled this situation. Then Shaun, you know, not being able to keep his mouth shut, says, right, cause dogpiling me over NSFW anime character art idiots think is CP is totally not the real issue. I'm done with every single buddy on this side of YouTube. You all can stay in your echo chamber of dumbass takes and nonsense. Then, being completely done with this idiot, I said, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Your salt was delicious, but it expired rather quickly. Then Shaun, being completely out of responses, says salt doesn't expire and I could care less. I'm done with all you, and like I said, you're all full of negativity. You know, a classic comeback for somebody who has nothing left to say. Just nitpick somebody's statement and say, oh, well, actually, this isn't accurate because this. But then I decided I would do a little bit of trolling, and I just replied with a correction because, you know, he used the wrong form of your. He said Y-O-U-R. He should have used Y-O-U''RE. So I just responded with that just to correct him real quick. You know, if he's gonna be a smartass, I figure I can be one as well. But no, because then he responds to that by calling me a grammar Nazi and that he's not even surprised, and then says, we're done here, goodbye. To which I just wave my hand in goodbye. So yes, goodbye, Shaun. Nobody will miss you.
You know, I may be really sick right now and you can probably hear it, but at least I'm not sick enough in the head to actually think that going on the internet and publicly defending Lolly is some sort of morally correct activity, bro. Like, it is absolutely mind-blowing today, man. Weebs are getting really bold when it comes to this lolly shit. I mean, they're almost at the point of furries and bronies when it comes to celebrating publicly their degenerate behavior, bro. Like, weebs, y'all need to dial it back. And I'm not saying that all anime motherfuckers are weird, but you guys that are out here publicly defending and enjoying lolly, like, come on, bro. Like, this is just sad, dude. You motherfuckers may hide behind this veil of morality, like, oh, it's not real, it's not an actual child. You know, I really feel like when it comes to situations like this, we need to lean back and look to the wisdom of the ancients. So I think our boy Socrates put it perfectly way back in the day. I don't care if she's, quote, 800 years old. You like her because she looks like a child, you fucking pedophile. Like, we literally live in a world right now where we have grown men on the internet pretending like it's okay to jerk off to a kid because it's a drawing. Like, what in the actual fuck, dude? And the excuse of, oh, it's not real, so it doesn't matter. Like, dude, really? You're really gonna die on that hill? Like, that is absolutely pitiful, bro. And I'm not even saying you can't beat off the anime. If you want to, you know, different strokes, man. I'm not one to particularly engage in such activities, but hey, there's plenty of anime bitches to go jerk off to that don't look like they're 7 years old. And I know that people use the excuse too of like, oh, well, they don't even look realistic. Well, dude, come on now. Are we really gonna deny that anime characters are not drawn in a way to look intentionally young? Like, come the fuck on, dude. This is some degenerate activity. This is not a hill motherfuckers should be dying on. And if you're gonna enjoy this type of content, which I still think is fucked up, you know, do so in your own degenerate mind, man. It will never be socially acceptable to try and argue in favor of jerking off to kids, whether they be real or drawn.
How fucking ironic is it that someone who gets so defensive, so immediately and aggressively defensive about Lolicon and how it must not be pedophilia, and how they are now turning around as a last fucking resort so they can get all the heat off of them and back onto Brother Nier by calling him a pedo, is fucking rich. My guy, you looked at something that looked, sounded, and acted like a child, and you got your jollies off to it, alright? You have no fucking room to be calling anyone a pedophile, especially when your only fucking basis for this is some offhand joke in a Discord server that you really have to actually try and interpret as sexual in order to get to that conclusion. It's fucking pathetic. You're a fucking joke. You are clearly someone who has realized they've fucked up, and you are trying very desperately to get out of it in whatever conceivable manner that you can possibly think of. This was already apparent when you jumped to the, well, technically excuse, like, oh, technically, where certain parts of the world, it's not actually considered illegal, by definition. Like, motherfucker, if you have to actually reach and try that hard just to say that you're legally innocent, that probably shows that there is an actual ethical issue going on here. And part of me thinks that you actually realize it, but you're too fucking pathetic to own up to it and admit that you have a problem that you really should be working on. It's pretty clear to me, at least, that you've never had to actually deal with a proper adult conflict in your life, and you think that you can just childishly hand-wave all of this by deflecting all of the heat back onto Brother Nier, but unfortunately that's just not going to happen. You made a mistake. Own up to it, tuck your tail between your legs, shut the fuck up, go home, call a psychiatrist, and get some help. I don't envy your position, and I don't envy whatever the fuck it is that's going on in that brain of yours, but I genuinely hope that you come to the realization that you need to stop and make up for your misdeeds before you actually hurt someone.
You know, there's a great saying that is very relevant to this whole situation. It's all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits. You can guess who giggled and shit. Shaun. And not Shaun the Sheep, because Shaun the Sheep is actually pretty awesome. Even though I don't even fucking know you. All I know is that you have an anime profile picture, which already tells me enough about you. And you like lolly, which is just, really bad. And now you're in this whole entire coping session because Nier made a fucking joke. He didn't even make the joke. Fucking Kim Josh-un made the joke first because he was like, hey, can I have the fag roll in your fucking server? Like, there was no implication. It was a fucking joke. I also find it incredibly ironic that you have a problem with someone making a joke about, I don't know, someone getting a roll in Discord, but you're okay with people jerking off to cartoon children. Very weird standards, if I'm honest with you. Then you would block those people because they're calling you on your shit about lolly. It just makes you look like a fucking retard, if anything. And I just have to wonder, is it because someone caught you red-handed jerking off to little children drawings and stuff? Is that why? I mean, come on. There is a big difference with someone writing a line that's just, hey, come to my house to see if you're a fag or not, and you jerking off to little children drawings. Like, do you not see the difference in that? And you have the balls to say, I don't give a fuck what any of you think. And I don't even have a Twitter. But you go on a blocking spree. This is why I don't have a Twitter. This is a great example of fucking Twitter being dog shit. And it's hilarious. You, sir, are pathetic. You need to do something about your life. Maybe stop jerking off to little cartoon characters, right? And notice that what a joke is. Alright, I did my part. Nier, I want my money in my mailbox by this weekend. Fuck you.
Uh-oh, somebody's calling on the retard line. Hello? Oh, yeah. No, I got you. Anyways, fellas, it has come to my attention that an associate of mine is under fire from some degenerative individuals. Some individuals that may partake in, questionable activities, to say the least, or one person in particular. And why is that? Because of a comment that he made towards somebody on a Discord server a while ago. Now, this may sound bad on paper, but once you go and look at it, let me pull it up right here. Right, because we all know that messages sent on Discord, right? You say that somebody sent like a questionable message on Discord and you immediately assume the worst, but trust me on this one. Why do I not have the faggot role? Come over to my house and I'll debate on it. Now, the person who Nier is talking to in this is underage. However, I look at this and I'm like, oh, he's threatening his life. Or something like that. It doesn't seem sexually charged, right? The argument that's being made here is that this is a sexual advance on a minor because of this one screenshot. And I really gotta beg the question, are you fucking mentally retarded? Like, are you so fucking brain dead that you look at this and you're like, this is pedophilia? These are the people, keep in mind, right? You go to their Twitter profile, you click on it, you go to their likes, right? You scroll down on that. Animated child porn. But this is pedophilic. The argument is that there's implications here, sexual implications here, but I really don't see it. Like, there is nothing in this. This is such a nothing debate, right? You get these people that just make these absurd arguments for the sake of making them. They make these arguments to subvert your attention away from the fact that, you know, they're doing questionable activities and they're like trying to at least bring you down to their level or make it seem worse. So they take the most out of context thing that they possibly can. And I don't think that there was really any context to this to begin with, like that would have made it any better or worse. It's just simply something that you say to, I don't know, a close associate, like, I don't know. Threats are jokes. You're not a man if you don't look at a threat as a joke, coming from a friend at least, right? You threaten fucking everybody that you know. The insinuation of violence and sexual acts, as absurd as like depraved as this may sound, in the male world, right? You go and you're just chilling with the guys and you say the most out-of-pocket shit that you can imagine, and that's just a joke. Right? And then you look at this shit, this is not even comparable to half the stuff that I've heard and said and done or you've done. I guarantee it that you've been sitting in a room with some other dudes on a couch and you've said the most vile and nasty shit towards them, other people that will never hear it. Like, you just say these things. And this doesn't even land on the low end of the scale. It's to my understanding that this guy's like, what, 16? But there's nothing in this that could even be remotely taken to like a pedophilic level, like, yo, you're grooming them. And it's hard to make arguments against this, right? Because it is such a nothing. Like, there is nothing here to substantiate an argument, but if you keep just hammering it in like, oh, this is a pedophile, this screenshot right here makes this guy a pedophile, like, you are just so fucking brain dead, or you are the opposite, and you're aware that you can just get on somebody's nerves, get all the attention away from what you're doing and put it on them. Maybe you are smart. Maybe this is a move, right? You're trying to get the upper hand here, but you're fucking retarded. If you use one of these strategies to, like, I don't know, get the best of somebody in an argument, yeah, maybe you'll have like a little bit of a temporary victory, but everybody will just think you're retarded forever. You're fucking stupid, you're brain dead, you're a bonehead. It's just absurd. It's mind-boggling that we even go to these lengths. Like you've literally expressed your love for small childlike characters and jerking off to them and wanting to fuck them, and you think this is a pedophile. You know, I'll tell you what this is, right? This is what's in the magic industry. We call this like a subversion of attention. I don't know what they call it, but the trick is that you're like, make a gesture with your hand over here, and the same sense. Whoa. You're like, yeah, that's what it is. Magic for retards. Politicians do it too, right? You have some big crisis, and then all of a sudden, oh look, there's this other thing over here, and everybody goes and gets mad at it while they do their thing, right? Right, everybody knows that it's happening, and it doesn't really gain you anything, right? Because everybody just thinks that you're fucking stupid afterwards, but let's be honest, in the moment, it kind of works. That's what's going on here, and that's all I really have to say.
Well, it all started long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away, known as Twitter. So, there's this weirdo that also makes YouTube videos that used to kind of be a really respected guy, and his name was ShaunTheLegend. And I've had like some interactions with this guy. Like, I was never really his friend. But he was more of like a person that I would kind of on my videos. I would comment on his, and we just kind of knew of each other's existence. Like, but we weren't really friends. So I come to know that this guy is not really the most mentally put together individual. His Twitter, which it still is at this time, a complete just cesspit of the most degenerate shit I've ever seen. He basically is into like Lolicon, which is basically just it's pornography, but it's like animated pornography in the anime style of just like underage girls, and he's into that shit because he's that weird. I made a video on him and on Brother Near because they were in like some kind of beef, because I don't know exactly where it originated, but all I know is that Near called him out for being into like Lolicon at some point, and he made like this whole like 20-minute video on basically talking about Near, and like I think a few other things too, about how, oh, Lolicon is okay. It's okay if you see it as disgusting, but it's not. It's okay. So I kind of stepped in and made my own video. I put it on my second channel. I think it was literally just called ShaunTheLegend Likes Lolicon. Like, I think that was the name, and because that's why I didn't put it on my main, because I didn't want to get demonetized. So I put it over there, and I got age restricted, so I didn't reach that many people. But I basically stuck up for Near in that video and explained kind of my position on CP, which you can probably, like, if you're a mentally stable human being, infer what my stance is on that. So then I got word that Shaun didn't really agree with my takes in that video, seeing as he's like a troglodyte. So I challenged him to a debate, and I was like, all right, bro, I can find what I literally said to him, but I said some super intelligent, like light Yagami type shit. Wait, let me find it. Here it is. Mitsuni video. This even the name. He blocked me, but I can't even look in the old DMs with him. Damn it. But I said some shit of like, I'm challenging you to a debate. If you say no, then we're just gonna, me and the community are just gonna take it as proof that you don't even have the guts to defend your position against somebody who disagrees with you. And you would be stupid not to do this because I have like 1 million subs. Like, you'd be stupid. And he didn't go through with it, and we basically got into a little Twitter war. And this is where kind of my other friends stepped in, Ween, and then it was just like me and Ween defending against the hordes in hordes of Lolly supporters that were just bombing our Twitters for a bit. And because I little did I know it's an entire community. I thought it was just this one guy, right? I thought it was just this one guy, but no, this guy is a part of like a tribe of like a faction in Skyrim of people who are just into Lollyboard. So we would just get ratioed so bad because there was like hundreds of them, and they would just retweet and like they were like ants. Like one of them is like they're so weak and insignificant, but then when there's hundreds, they can like do anything, right? So they were ratioing the fuck out of us. We were getting swarmed by these lollies, and then that's when I was like, all right, bro, all right, hold it down, sit down. I put out another debate, right? So, but this time was a debate towards like the general public. So like I was like, if anybody can convince me or give me proof that basically CP is okay, then I will apologize and like take all that shit down. Well, full well knowing that that's impossible, right? Because there's no justification. So I have maybe like 10, 20, 30 people talk to me on Discord, and I basically like kind of talk to them. I mean, at least most of them were polite about it. Like, they're still disgusting, but that's the only thing I'll give them, right? But I talked to a bunch of them, and what I did was I took all of their defenses, like every one, I took all the defenses they had for that kind of shit being okay. I don't even want to say the word. And I compiled it into a tier list, right? And I called it the Lolicon Defense Tier List, right? And I put them on a tier list and, like, disproved all of them in the video. And from that, just more people came, and then I started getting, like, very distasteful messages and stuff. That's kind of where I just stepped out of the situation from there. That video wasn't really received well. I thought that video would kind of do a good job kind of persuading these people that what they're doing is wrong, but I guess not. My friend Ween also made a bunch of videos on it. He went crazy. He made like 3-4 videos, and because he made like 3-4-5 videos, the community of these disgusting people got together and decided to just try to flag down his Twitter and his YouTube, and they actually got his Twitter deleted. If you look up his old account, well, duh, you can't because it's deleted, but it's not there anymore, is my point. So he has a new one now, and they flagged his channel and bombed his comments, so it was wild, but he's pretty much doing better. But since then, Shaun has kind of seemed to be up to his normal shenanigans, I guess, going around just being into this stuff, retweeting it, liking it, just acting like it's okay, and then attacking other people who kind of disagree with him over YouTube. And I've kind of just decided it would be best if I stepped away from Twitter. And like, it's not a secret that this is the main reason. Like, I just don't want everything I post to just be bombed by these 45-year-old no-lifes that just watch like child porn all day, and everything I would tweet would just kind of get bombed by them, and I would just get all these just disgusting messages. So that's why I kind of just left Twitter and Instagram, and that kind of seemed to fix the problem. But yeah, that's pretty much my experience with everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh wow, it's such a wonderful day. Time to check Twitter and what the fuck? So first off, I just want to say thank you to Brother Near for having me here, and secondly, thank you, Shaun. I've been having a lot of depressive episodes lately, and I've always had like feelings of being unconfident in myself, but every time I look at you, I always think to myself, you know, I could be worse off. But yeah, here's my very limited experience with ShaunTheLegend. This man straight up blocked me because I was liking tweets by Near and Psychonautic Therapy. Like, I didn't even say anything directly to Shaun. Like, there was one time I engaged with yelling at Lolicons, and that was about it. But I had never spoken directly to Shaun himself. So he literally just blocked me for liking tweets. If that isn't some pussy shit, I don't know what the hell is. He also proceeded to block Near, but while he had Near and Psychonautic Therapy and everyone blocked, he proceeded to continue to tweet about them. Like, we all know what this is. He literally just blocked everyone so that he could keep preaching to his little echo chamber of lolicons about this. Another thing I found really funny is that he called everyone who criticized him a clout chaser. And then, not even a week after the drama with him and Near died, this motherfucker decided to unblock Near so he could resurrect the drama because it was the only attention his channel was getting. Also, he can't even say some shit like, oh, we didn't bother to hear him out. Because one of us literally did, that being Zero Needs Coffee. And his immediate response in his man-child brain was to go like, oh, they're definitely clout chasing. Instead of accepting the debate and potentially dismantling Zero's arguments, this dumbass decides to run with his views and assume that everyone is clout chasing off of him. The funniest part is that even though he calls Zero and Near clout chasers, both of them have more subs than him. This motherfucker is absolutely grasping at straws right now, and it baffles me as to how he can continue to do this and not realize that maybe he's the problem. But anyways, that's all I've got. Thanks to Brother Near for having me on, and I'm gonna go lie down after absorbing all this stupidity again.
Okay, so I was asked pretty last minute to summarize my thoughts on this drama and to make it quick, and I'm doing this on no sleep, so bear with me. But I think the whole way this drama started was kind of dumb to begin with, especially when Shaun admits that it's okay for people to find what he consumes creepy, but can't handle any criticism when they do. He can't really deny that what he looks at is virtual CP, and by that logic, I feel it's justified in calling him a quote-unquote pedo, and the whole thing he's trying to currently pull with Josh is not only poor deflection, but also a false equivalency, when taking into consideration that he's yet to prove how anything Near has done has been sexual, let alone comparable to grooming. Vincent Martin made a remark about Near dick-riding minors because of a joke about Josh and Near debating over who is gayer, and if anything, Josh took that to the extreme with another joke about dick-riding Near. Shaun has desperately been trying to twist that entirely to try and frame and defame Near as some kind of groomer, and deflect any prior criticisms from him or myself as a result, which is honestly just pathetic. If you need to create this narrative in your head that Near is actually a predator grooming kids just to hide behind it as a defense, and proceed to morally grandstand over him joking over a debate with his friend, and throw wild accusations at him when you literally consume virtual CP, you know, sexualized depictions of children, I think that speaks volumes in and of itself, dude. You can't even back up your points or be bothered to properly respond to people like Bodakanta or myself, and self-proclaim to have moved on from this drama, but at every turn, you pull pathetic shit like this. I guess genuinely asking you to grow up at the end of my video without being hostile was just a waste of fucking time. Also, what the fuck is with this narrative that Near pays me? I mean, he does, just with head.
Honestly, as far as Shaun the pedo, Mitsuni Nika, or whatever other split personality resides in his head goes, what is there to really say that hasn't been already said? Not only are his video editing skills extremely ass, and he sounds like Malcolm if you went full on Cupcake Man mode, he's the literal textbook definition of a hypocrite. The dude takes issue with Near blocking a few people on Twitter, but then proceeds to go on a fucking crusade blocking people. Myself included, by the way. Whenever the bullshit he concocted to begin with blows up in his face. He constantly says how he wants to move on, yet he continues to add fuel to the fire by spewing limitless retardation on Twitter. Through hundreds of tweets, he accuses Near of having an echo chamber, while he calls upon his Twitter pedal ring special forces unit to back him up. Oh, and of course you had him trying to frame Near as a kitty diddler over an inside joke between him and Kim Jong-un. This is coming from the same motherfucker that openly stated his want to fuck an underage character, which, speaking of which, his defense about wanting to fuck said character was that children in the real world don't have superpowers. I don't think I even need to explain why not only is that logic utterly retarded, but it still doesn't change the fact that it's extremely creepy you want to wax your carrot to a character that is very clearly depicted as a child, regardless of if they're fictional or not. Yeah, honestly, I have no sympathy for motherfuckers like Shaun. I would not shed a tear if his head were to end up on a pike like a fucking shish kebab. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Case closed.
Well, call me a fucking prophet, for I have predicted the future, ladies and gentlemen. In my roughly 46-minute long video responding to the whole situation regarding ShaunTheLegend, I said that I doubted Shaun's claim that he really wanted the drama to die given his behavior up till that point. And considering that he can't stop mauling on Twitter over it, it seems like I was 100% correct on that. Now, because that video exists and I go over the situation up till that point in great detail, I'm just gonna keep this little snippet to what's happened since. Well, now ShaunTheLegend is trying to claim that Brother Near is a pedophile. His evidence? A fucking joke he made on Discord towards Kim Jong-un, claiming that said joke was sexual towards a minor, which for those who don't know, Kim Jong-un is a minor at the time of me recording this. I think he's like 17. Now, ShaunTheL here is trying to claim that Brother Near is a pedophile over this, which is completely absurd for two reasons. Number one, the joke itself is not sexualized, given the fact that all he said was, "Come over to my house and I'll debate on it." You really have to twist your neck and squint a certain way in order to perceive that as sexual. And number two, and quite possibly the more important part, it's a fucking joke. It is not meant to be taken seriously. Now, I did see Kim Josh-un making sexualized jokes towards Brother Nier, but again, that's Kim Josh-un doing it to Brother Nier, not the other way around. But Mitsune Nika is trying to claim that Brother Nier's in the wrong by saying, "How's it going making sexual jokes towards minors in your Discord server, Brother Nier 2.0? I can't wait till the grooming allegations come out as well." All I can see this as is some pathetic attempt at projection as well as trying to prolong the drama. Which is ironic because he's the ones defending depictions of literal children getting railed. The difference is, one was a joke that wasn't even sexual, and the whole point of a joke is to, you know, laugh and have fun, whereas the only purpose of Lolicon is to beat your fucking meat to that shit. And like I explained in my video, the sexual arousal and sexual pleasure you feel from that is the same regardless of if it's a drawn depiction of a child or a depiction of an actual child. If you genuinely believe that shit is okay, then please, for the love of God, go seek mental help. And it's also ironic considering that you're the one accusing us of prolonging the drama. And yet, once again, it is actually you doing that shit. Not all of us. But in Shaun the Legend, it seems like you are the one that's writhing in thirst for drama content and flopping like a fish out of water.
In my experience, Vincent Martin is an obsessive and pathetic loser who tries to gain attention through causing drama with people. Having dealt with him far more than I'd have liked has been quite revealing of his character, and he does not leave a good impression. He seems to hyperfixate on people, then seeks for ways to knock them down a peg, through any dishonest or disingenuous means he can, and he has no issue with removing critical context from situations or statements you've made in order to make you look bad, so he can claim some kind of win over you, and he'll keep pestering you until you get annoyed with him, at which point he'll start claiming you're toxic for not wanting to put up with his inane bullshit. He has now started this process with Brother Nier, by taking a joke he had made with a friend and twisting it to smear him, then running off to someone who is beefing with Nier to get the attention he so desperately craves. This is not someone who cares about right or wrong, but someone who cares about validation.
It's really ironic how Shaun always likes to claim that everyone else is perpetuating the drama and that he's done with it or whatever the fuck, but meanwhile he just keeps molding on Twitter and on YouTube, trying to find any out and anything to distract from the fact that he admitted to wanting to stick it in a minor. And the thing is, I offered him an out. He was asking for proof that this shit is illegal, not like it matters because attraction to children is still attraction to children, but I humored his request. And then I gave him the benefit of the doubt if he wants to get professional help and said I'd pay for the first session as a sign of good faith. But since we're here right now, you can probably guess what happened. He refused and completely ignored my source, which was an article from a 5-star law firm which cites the fucking law in the references. And that's something he likes to do a lot. Whenever he encounters an argument he cannot refute, he just completely ignores it and pretends like the conversation never happened. I don't even know what he's trying to prove anymore since he's completely failing and just keeps proving everyone right.
The behavior from Shaun just reeks of desperation to have a gotcha moment. Imagine taking an absurdist joke on whether or not a guy's a faggot between two friends and blowing it up to grooming and then comparing it to Seth the programmer. Because apparently what Nia said is comparable to real sexual harassment. As you can tell, either Shaun isn't very bright, or is intentionally shifting the general attention off him onto someone else. And anyone with a functioning dome can tell what Nia said was a dumb joke between two huge gays. By the way, who's the biggest one? I don't know the other guys, so my money's on the femboy. Even if you didn't know what's in Shaun's spank bank, you could tell he genuinely doesn't care for minors just based on his reactions to the tweets of the poor minor in question, because nothing says concern for what he calls a victim than not approaching them first, disregarding their input on the situation, and then blocking them so he could continue to use an out-of-context screenshot of a joke between two friends to win an argument he was losing badly. Overall, He reeks of being a desperate bitch pulling shit like this and proceeding to attempt a victory lap over what is by the legal definition by law, CP. Whether or not Lolicon is illegal is murky due to artist expression protections. What isn't murky is illustrated sexual content of children is considered by law CP. The fact he avoids that point in the topic is telling. Overall, touch grass, not kids.
Congratulations, Shaun. You just woke me from my nap. I fucking hate you now. Okay, now time for my involvement in this drama. So a while back, Shaun tried to catch Nier in a gotcha by saying that Astolfo, yes, the iconic femboy, is a fucking lolly. I wish I was joking, he's genuinely this fucking stupid. And then Nier tagged me in a reply asking if Astolfo was a lolly, to which I replied, no, he isn't. That's it. That's my entire involvement in this drama. Me simply saying that no, Astolfo isn't a lolly. And then Shaun blocked me and Nier on Twitter, which I find funny because I had little involvement in this drama as possible. And to give my final thoughts on this entire thing, Shaun, if you truly want this drama to be over, just shut up and stop talking about it, sit in your basement and jerk off to your little anime girls like the sicko you are. Thanks to Nier for including me in his video. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna listen to Lorna Shore while making a drink of vodka, Jaeger, and 91% rubbing alcohol. I need to purge Shaun from my brain.
Shaun, my boy, I don't think you understand the situation that you put yourself in, as well as the situation that you put Josh and Nier in. First things first, you defend Lolicon, but you're going to talk about a minor and his dealings with his own friends. You should probably stay out of the minor's business, don't you think? Especially knowing your history. Knowing that you defend Lolicon is enough for me to shut that down right there, but the fact that you feel the need to bring up a joke between friends and get involved and insert yourself when you are not even a part of their friendship, much less a part of their conversation. And going around referring to them as pedophiles or shaming them or standing on some moral high ground to make yourself look better when you yourself defend the drawing of little girls in multiple different forms of sexualizations, regardless of the context or platform in which case it's in, it's really not a good look, man. And honestly, if I were you, I would just shut the fuck up. You have no right to speak regarding their friendship, their jokes, their conversations, and much less do you have any right to morally grandstand yourself as some champion of morality when you yourself have clearly displayed a lack of such values. Just because the internet feels the need to police each other on every single little thing does not give you the right to insert yourself into other people's lives, and it does not give you the right to judge people on the things that they say to each other as friends. That just makes yourself look like an asshat. It comes off more like you're trying to get attention more so than you're actually trying to make a valid point. When you argue against somebody because you dislike them or you disagree with their viewpoints, it really doesn't do anything for your argument because there's bias. If anything, it just makes your argument look more stupid because you're getting involved in something that A, you have no dealings with whatsoever, but B, you have a vendetta against both of them because they both disagree with your stupid point about lolicons. Ultimately, this is a flaccid attempt at trying to gain some kind of moral high ground over Nier and Josh, when in reality, you've just made yourself come off like an attention whore, and I'm sure Nier is going to do a fantastic job at exposing your ass for the lolicon defender that you are. We'll see who the real pedophile is.
Howdy folks, my name's Ruza and I've been catching online sexual predators since the early days of 2017. If you want to see a list of a lot of ones that I publicly exposed, a Google Doc will be linked on my YouTube channel. If Nier links my YouTube channel, you fat bitch. So we're going to be reviewing some information. Apparently somebody's calling Nier a pedophile and they're using one screenshot as evidence. Now, as a person who's known Nier and knows a lot of people who have crude, strange humor, I'll put it like that, saying very out-of-pocket or weird things to people isn't something new. But the thing is, somebody's going to say weird and out-of-pocket things to a minor sus emoji? And the thing is, I don't want us to look at 16, 19, or you can, that's fine. But I want you to add this onto it, the age gap between these two. The 16-year-old turned 17, very soon after. Meaning, the age gap between Nier and this kid is actually only 2 years in a few months. The main reason we don't want kids to sexually interact with adults is because of mental maturity. However, when the age gap between this kid and adult is only 2 years, there's no huge differential in mental maturity is what I'm trying to get at. And that's the reason stuff like Romeo and Juliet laws exist. So say, hypothetically, if a 16-year-old wanting to have sex with a 19-year-old, the 19-year-old would face no legal repercussions because of Romeo and Juliet laws. That's only if this wasn't even a joke, which if you'd seen how Nier jokes, this is how his tomfoolery goes. And if these two have known each other for so long, if Nier was really like this, I feel like more evidence would be around rather than him just putting out some crude humor.
Alright, my involvement with this whole internet beef has been non-existent until some people started bringing it to my attention with, oh god, what the fuck? There isn't enough bleach in the world to clear my brain of that image ever again. With that being said, I think I'll just get straight to the point on just how poor your lolly defense really is, Shaun. Number 1, your entire argument regarding Lolicon legality in Japan is one massive red herring, as you do not live in Japan. Even if you did, no. Reading the Wikipedia article you cut around says the complete opposite. In December of 2010, they passed a law restricting any characters committing a sex act that is illegal in real life that glorifies or exaggerates said act, fake or not. Number 2, even in the States, this is considered illegal on a federal level under obscenity on justice.gov. Number 3, if your defense is, it's legal in Japan, therefore it's okay, let me ask you this. In Palestine, pre-pandemic child marriage was legal. Does this make it morally permissible? I'm positive I don't need to explain why this isn't the defense you're looking for, young Skywalker. Shaun, honest to God, being tarred and feathered is too nice for a self-admitted creep who wants to fuck fictional 14-year-olds. And with the bass-ackward somersault into stupid trying to call Nier a pedo over an extremely pedestrian joke with a friend, honestly, do something useful like cartwheeling into traffic. Alright, I'm done. That's enough internet for me. Fuck you, Nier, I'm going back to RuneScape.
So, as you can see, I have a bunch of people that will fight by my side, and we will not tolerate any more of your sick behavior. You like to invite your friends to harass me, so I think it's only fair game if I have mine stand with me. This video would not exist to begin with if it weren't for your inane amounts of degeneracy, deceit, and outright scummy behavior. One of the saddest things about exposing you like this is I used to respect you for what you do. We supported each other on a few occasions, but now, ever since I called you out, you act like none of that ever happened. It's very clear to me that you can't grasp the very concept of being wrong, and that's why everything between you, me, and several other people has happened so far. You targeted harass me with your community of scumbags, you participate in campaigns to mass flag anybody that disagrees with you, you gossip on anybody that just so happens to despise the concept of lolicons, you deflect any and all criticism with extremely childish remarks, you lied about me threatening to dox you, and your video on me and Batakanta is the perfect example of how to destroy your own career. But the video wasn't enough. You compared my joke towards a friend of mine to Seth the programmer. That fucking hurts to think about. Shaun, you had so many chances to let this drama die out. You could have saved yourself from any more trouble, but instead of that, you took every opportunity you could to try and make me look bad in any disingenuous way you could. The very fact you did all of this to me and several others is enough to dismiss any and all credibility you once had. It's crazy to me that any of this even happened to begin with, and honestly, it fucking sucks that I have to deal with your bullshit to begin with. The way you've treated me in the past was pretty awful. But this is a whole new low. And I know that once this video comes out, if Shaun even bothers to watch this entire thing, he's gonna continue. I know he will. because it's always been clear to me that ever since this drama started, that he's such an unhinged lunatic that will try to do anything in order to make things worse. So blame no one but yourself, Shaun, for the fact I'm exposing you like this. You forced my hand. You want this to end? Then please, leave me alone.